Hey everyone, and welcome back to Co-op Tutorials. My name is Martin.
And I'm Greg.
So today, Greg is going to be demonstrating to us how to take a particular application I want him to code, break it down just into a bite-sized chunk. So that we're kind of talking about on the last video that we
So
did.
you, as the user, may want to start fast forwarding now.
This might take a little bit of time.
It's
Um,
going to take a little bit of time, probably. Maybe not too much. Though.
um, so, um, so Greg, have you seen this before?
What, Python?
No, not Python. What we're going to do. Have you coded this
No.
before? Okay, cool. So,
I think I can remember.
okay. So
I
what I
would
want you to
remember.
do. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to be able to put in first name of a person, last name, occupation. I want you to put in there three people. Once you're done, I then want it to be displayed like shown here. So it's first name, pipe, last name, pipe, occupation. And then the user actually has to enter it in. So like you can't just do it within the application itself, like hard code the names. Cool?
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Alright, so what's the first thing you want to do?
Um, I, I believe I've had some programming classes before, and from what I remember on it, and I've never really done Python before. So I think first thing you need to do is declare any variables that you may be using.
Okay.
Um, so, so let's break this down how this should work probably. So the thing should run when you start it. It'll start asking you questions, right? So
Yes.
it'll be asking your first name, last name, and occupation. So you probably need a variable to store the names, the
Okay.
string.
Okay. So what would you like to call
So
that?
I guess it could be like we're going to be storing that probably in a list,
Okay.
right? So, like, and this is going to be like I guess, since this is not going to be like a permanent list, because it's going to be changing every time you get done with the occupation, be like a temporary list, or temp stored name, temp list name,
Okay.
temp name list, whatever.
Alright, so like
So
template like that?
temp list, yeah, and then
Okay.
whatever the symbol is for like the list or whatever.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so we got that. That's the variable for each, I guess, cycle that's going to do to store those names in. So how's the program going to keep cycling through it until you say no? So I believe it would be like a while,
Okay.
yes,
So while
and there'll be a while loop.
okay.
So the program is going to probably always cycle through it by default unless you push any other character, I guess.
Okay.
Like yes, like the after occupation, it'll always ask you, do you want to keep going or do you want to stop? So I would say like have a variable that says user input equals yes or y by default. That way it will always cycle through it until you say otherwise.
Like this?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Or put that as a variable.
Got it. Okay. Oops. Okay, now it's a variable. Do you want that to be defaulted to anything?
Yeah, like y, like it's gonna always default to y
Okay. And then,
unless otherwise specified.
okay.
So what's the colon for?
Um,
At once?
so like, C sharp, for instance,
Yeah.
if you were doing that, the colon means that you're gonna have a code under here
So it's
indented.
like bracket.
C sharp would be like this, and
Okay,
then
flat
you
bracket
would
then.
indent. Yeah, so Python does not have
A little
brackets like
bit,
that.
a little bit different, but
A
it's
little bit
less
different,
stuff around.
but it's the same concept.
Okay, so while the user input equals while we're going to start asking the questions.
Okay.
So, um, and these questions are going to be stored in a temp list. So I guess it'd be like the temp list equal. Is it or is it dot add
Dot append.
dot append? Okay.
Okay.
Dot append, and then the answer to the first question, like your first name.
Okay.
So
So
first,
you want to ask the user something, right?
yeah.
Okay. What
So
do you want to ask
first
them?
name.
You just want to say first name?
I
Like
mean, you
the
can, or we can be more like grammatically correct.
or what is
Your
the what is the
what is
first
the,
name?
what is the first name? That doesn't sound right at all.
Well, if you put in there
What is
what
your
is
first?
your first name, it's always going to be Greg.
Well,
Unless if you
any
lie.
user is going to say that. Okay, what is? Oh my gosh! Enter the first. Enter. I don't know.
Enter a first name. For that.
Sure. Let's keep it generic.
Okay. Okay.
In that case, it couldn't just be first name.
You can do it however you want. It's your program.
Okay, let's just go. Let's keep it simple. Let's not get stumped over something stupid for
Okay.
one. Okay, and then do the same thing again for last name, and same thing again for occupation, and then enter an occupation. Okay. So we have the three user inputs in this temp list now. So I'm not entirely sure if you can just use this temp list to just. I don't know if we could just keep this temp list and like run with it, or use another list to also put this temp list in it to like append the pops part. We can try it both ways.
Okay.
So let's see. How would you? I guess you would need maybe another if you're going to edit it. Unless there's a. Do you know of another way of like using it, or would it be too like ugly to write it? To use the temp list, the current temp list right now, but also edit the output of it.
But also edit the output. What do you mean by that?
The first name pop, last name pop, occupation.
So are you asking if there's a way to use a temp list to actually output our result?
Yes, without using another list. Combine it all together. It might be too much.
There is a way of doing it, but you wouldn't do it this way.
Okay.
That's probably the only hint I'm gonna give you.
Okay. So, create another. The reason I want to create another list, and that's really just going to be the output list, so we can edit the string all together, first name, last name, and occupation. That's the only reason I'm going to have that. So it would be like.
Is that what you want it?
Yeah, I mean it could be like the output list, and then would it be append again, and then string it all together, all the inputs, all the temp lists.
We can do that. So you would append, and then you would say
temp list. Whatever the character means for like the first, like 0, 1, 2, like the first one.
So you're saying that you want to store it. You want to store it like this? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I'll call the first name first, the last name second, occupation third. I don't know how to do that in Python.
Okay, so you want to say
But
something.
like the C sharp, it would be like, isn't it like curly braces 0, and then curly braces 1, curly braces 2, based
It
on
would
the
still be
selection order?
brackets. So I think what you're saying is you want to create an output list, and you want that to be a blank list right now. Then are you saying that you want the output list, and you want to append it some
Everything,
values,
everything that was added in that certain order.
and then you want to do temp list 0
0,
plus a pipe. Does that sound right so far?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then continue on.
Then it would be 1 and 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. So
So I know a little bit about programming because I touched on it a little bit. I'm not entirely a beginner, but I just kind of the whole point of 0, 1, and 2 is now Martin can correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm probably am.
here, I'll show
Aren't
the
those
users.
indexes?
It's
Aren't those indexes?
exactly what the other index is.
Basically, this is an easy way of writing out dynamically what you put in the first temp list, the second, and the third. Like you just commented, so you can rearrange them, and it will rearrange the output outcome. So you could put you could put 1 in the first one, and it'll just print last name, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So if you change this
Okay.
to
So
1,
you can
whatever the case
reorder it
is.
however you want to. It's kind of the clever, cheaty. It's probably not cheaty, but it seems kind of like it gives you a lot more power to do whatever you want in your code.
Mhm.
So normally, as a beginner, you would try to go like this in a certain order until you understand it better. Then you can rearrange the order. Most likely after you programmed it. That way you already understand how it works. You don't do it during it. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. So then you'll have another input stating, do you want to enter another person, enter something else, and then
Like that.
yeah, and then
Okay.
yes or no, or Y or no, or not Y or no, Y or N.
So Y
No,
or N.
it's now if you just hit enter, not now, but like when you execute the program, it will auto default to Y, right?
No. Oh,
Okay.
it will. It will if you tell it to, but otherwise it won't. So you
Okay.
have to explicitly tell it
So
to.
the way I want this to be written would be always default to Y. If you hit enter, like with nothing, it'll just like, oh, it's blank, so we're just going to accept Y. So I think you would need a variable that always tells it Y.
Okay.
Is that so? That like user input? Can you put like a user input like equal Y?
you
At the
I mean, you have that up top here. User
Okay,
input
so
equals to Y.
it's always gonna default it, right?
It's no. This is just what you currently have it as right now. But you can change it to whatever you want.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I don't see what you're saying.
Okay, when you hit this part of the program, do you want to enter another person? Y or no? And it's blinking, like now.
Okay.
And I had to hit enter.
Okay.
It's gonna say Y because user input is already equal to Y, right? Or
Yes, correct.
So it's gonna cycle again.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it's already working the way I want it. Okay.
Okay.
So after this, if you hit no, it needs to output everything in your temp list or output list. I mean.
Got it. Okay. So how do you do that?
I believe a for loop. Do it.
A for loop?
Like, is it a for?
What does a for loop do?
Doesn't it cycle through?
It does, but how would that help here?
The output it, the print it. print each thing in the for loop.
Putting each what thing? Oh, you're saying that if you don't want to put in there any more users, then you're gonna say,
Yeah, after you
okay,
add so many users or just one user, it needs, if you push no, it needs to output everything in
understood,
the output.
understood. Okay, so how do we know if the user put in there no?
How do we know what?
How do we know if the user entered in no? Here, all you're doing is you're just saying, um, do you want to put in there another person, yes or no? But you're not doing anything. You're not taking this, putting it anywhere to store it. You're just asking the user.
Okay, so we need to put in something where when we're in is inputted, it needs to do something else.
Okay, so how do we do that? Do we have to store that into a variable?
So, I mean, I don't know if it's starting to a variable. You need to change the variable. You need to change. It needs to get out of the while loop.
Okay.
So, couldn't you say if user input equal? I don't know about there, but I mean, like in general, if user input equal in, do this other thing.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Um, so you're saying that if the user puts in their n, then you want to loop through whatever this output list is. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you could do something like, let's see. You can do something like another person or add person. So add person will be equal to this. Then you can say something like if add person
equal in, and then do the for loop. For and isn't it just like C# where you can use whatever variable name that you want to like cycle through it? So it would be like it could be just item. I usually seen use that in the past.
Okay.
Just to make it generic.
Okay. Then what?
And then this is, let's see. Wow. So print item.
There you go. That.
Let's see what happens.
So you want to run it?
Yeah, let's run it.
Okay. Let's save this and run it. Okay.
I'm waiting for all the errors to blow up.
Huh. Alright, let's do this in the internal one here. Okay. Stop. Run it again. Okay. So we'll play. Enter a first name. Let's put in there Greg. And her last name.
Oh my god, you formatted it weird.
I didn't do this. You did this.
Whatever.
Occupation. You are a developer. Do you want to enter another? Okay, so now here, what do I do?
Hit Y. Or hit enter. Hit enter. Just enter.
Okay.
What the heck is that?
Let's stop this and we'll actually open up a terminal.
Enter a fur.
Sometimes Python jacks up. Okay, there we go. Greg.
Okay. Can we stop this real quick? Oh. Okay, so my buddy stopped the video before I was done.
Listen, you said stop.
Oh,
Okay.
you kept tapping.
Okay.
I'm telling you to stop tapping. After the first name, enter a space.
Like that?
Yeah, colon space. And do that after all that. Because the way the program's going to do it is making me twinge a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Okay. We should have done it there too. Just hit enter.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, do it again. Well, Yeah. Unemployed.
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 Is that how you spell it? P-L-O-Y, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Another person?
Hit in. Hit in and enter. So it doesn't take. Okay, it works on the first one, but it doesn't do the second one. Okay, so
let's take a look at our code. So,
okay,
kind of talk this out to me, starting from here.
High five, because I'm coming here to get you and we're heading there. Are you recording? Sorry.
what did you say? Sorry, I was interrupted.
Talk me out from here to here what the program is doing. From
Well,
line 8 to 12.
I think the output list, the start part needs to be after the append.
The start part, this one here?
The list start needs to be after the append.
The list start. Which line?
That one. I think 11 needs to be after 12.
11 needs to be after 12? It can't be.
It clears it out.
Okay.
You can add it up. Okay, so right now it.
Alright,
Okay,
so here.
I'll just talk you through it.
If you do this, you cannot append something to something that doesn't exist.
Okay. Okay, well, reverse that then. So it goes through the first part fine. Okay, so after the occupation, it makes sure the output list is clear, and then it appends all the stuff in the temp list into the output list, and then asks if you want to go through the cycle again, and if you say yes, it starts. It stays in the while loop.
Okay, so tell me what this line does. Line number 8. Tell me what it does.
Appends whatever the user input is.
Okay, how about 9? What does 9 do?
Does the same thing.
10.
Does the same thing.
11.
This clears out the output.
Clears out the output. Do you see anything at all wrong with that?
Well, I mean, the reason I didn't really want you to put it there. I thought it was going to be put up.
You could have told me to put it somewhere else.
Put it up top.
Gosh.
Make sure it's clear when you start it.
Up top, like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now it won't clear it out, but we don't know how the format's going to be.
Okay, so you want to try again?
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see what the program does with it. All of them.
George, Bob, we said he was unemployed.
Unemployed.
Okay, so you want to do N now? Or you...
Okay, so it just doubles my first input.
Okay.
Well, at least we got 2 results.
Okay. Okay.
So we need to.
So we're missing something.
We need to tell it to also add the second results set to it.
Okay.
Okay, so I would think it would need to be. Let's see. I think.
So think about your 2 lists and think about what their objectives are or what they're supposed to be doing. So you had mentioned that the output list is actually going to hold what the output is. And then you have a list that's called a temp list. What does that list do?
Okay. The templates could be put at the very start of the program just to make sure it's clear. Not the start of the program, the start of the while list. The while list.
So you're saying rather than it go here, it goes here. Is that what you're saying?
So it clears it out at the start.
Okay.
And then it starts accepting input, and then put the input in there, and then it goes asks you if you want to add another person, and you do. It clears out the templates of what it currently has, and accepts a new input, and then it appends it to the output list.
Okay, you want to try it?
Yeah.
George, Bob. No. Cool, look at that.
Hi.
You're almost there, but you kind of have a problem though. Well, when you put N, it still has here, please a first name. Please enter. Or enter a
Doesn't say
first name.
please at all.
I just can't read. I can't read it all. It says enter a
How do
first
you
name.
end a program in Python then? Okay, it's still in the while loop.
So you need to exit the while loop. So here's your
Yes.
condition.
Okay. Okay. What if it's like, can it differentiate like y and true? Like
Why?
if user input equal true, while true, like take it. I want to tell it to get out of while loop.
Okay. So
I thought that's what. Let's see.
okay. So
If
here's your condition here. The condition depends on this variable, user input. It's going to exit out
Okay,
of the
so-
while loop
so-
if it's not y.
So the user input variable needs to be blank.
It can be, but
It's not gonna really.
where do you put that at? Is my question.
Oh, I need to like label user input equal in somewhere.
Right. So where do you want to update this variable at?
Okay,
Where do you want
needs
it to
be
end it?
updated after it's been asked by the add person.
Okay. So
Okay.
after here.
Somewhere after here, it'll say. Can you say when? Like when user input equals in, or
So you're
like
checking.
like the add person part maybe doesn't need to be in there.
Okay.
It needs to be user input.
Okay, so you're checking the condition here. So you're asking the user, do you want to enter in another person? If they put in n, it's going to be stored into this add person variable. Then you're saying if the add person is equal to n, then we're
Print
going to
out.
do the rest of the stuff.
But still not getting out of the while loop. It's
Wait,
going to still be
That's how it works now. So you have to fix
Yes.
that. So how do you fix that? What do you have to do?
we have to tell it no.
Okay, how do you tell it no? What do you want to do?
This is like the 99% part. We're almost done, and then we just gotta get out of the while loop.
Okay, so here's your hint. Look at this. Here, this condition right now is true. Your objective now is to make this condition false.
Exactly.
Once
So I
it
need to-
becomes false, then it's going to exit. So can we update the user input variable? Can we change it?
I'm sure we could.
Okay, if we can change it, where do you want to change it at? Where would be the best place to change it at?
I would say after the add person variable,
After here.
like it needs to jump. It doesn't need to jump out of the while. It doesn't need to. Hold on, let me think. It only needs to jump out when we hit no or in.
Okay.
So it needs to validate if add person is equal to n or y.
Okay.
Right.
So let me tell it to you in a different way, and you tell me if that's what you want to do. If the user puts in n, are you saying that you want to update the user input variable to then become n?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. So we can do that right
I
here.
mean, ultimately, yes. That's the whole
Okay.
point.
So we call it user input equals, and we can do something even better than that. we can say that's just equal to the add person variable. So that way, whatever they put in here, it'll be equal to it, even if they put
It'll be
in there,
translated to there.
even if they put in there a y. Yeah. So actually, we can just do something like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter however you want to do it. That would still work though.
Okay.
So now if we run it, we'll put in there Greg Adams, he's a dev, and we're gonna put in there George. We're gonna put in there Bob, and he's found a job, and now he is Greg's manager. Do you want to put in there another person? Because it says here that you need to put in there 3 people.
Okay. Enter another person then.
Okay. Who do you want to put in there?
We got 2 guys. We need to make it more equality.
Okay.
So Mary, Jane.
Oh my gosh. What's her job?
High times.
High times?
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Well, it's a 3, so we can get out of it.
Okay, so
Hit
which
in and enter.
Yay! Look at that.
About time, man.
You did it. Did it. A couple like bumps along the way, but you did well though.
Oh yeah. This is a little different.
A little different, yeah. It definitely takes being able to just take your code, break it down into bite-sized chunks. So have you, based on doing this, have you really learned anything, you think?
Yeah. So you can kind of see there's kind of a pattern. Well, at least in this particular project, and I think. And I've done a little bit of programming before in like school and a little bit in like professionally, but not much. But there seems to be a little bit of a pattern in most of it. Like you may want to start with like declaring variables, what you're gonna set them to a certain value first. But you might want to like make sure that you want to do that. But it's like variables, and then you may not always have a while loop, but it's usually kind of goes into to me it's a pattern. It's like variables first, then a certain action. I would say action. It could be a while loop, it could be a method call or something, and then checking to see if in this certain situation we're having it set to Y. We want to check to make sure, do you still want it to set to Y, and you turn the switch off and then do something else. So to me, I could see that, yeah, I could probably see a little bit of pattern in this, and I can keep like at least declaring variables, and then start with whatever I want to do, depending on what I want to do. If it's accepting user input, and then it might be a while loop, to start it all off with. So I don't know if that makes sense. If that's true or not.
I think you probably just lost the whole entire audience.
It's fine.
But that's okay.
But I did learn. I know from experience that I can get to probably like 90% of the project kind of done. When I say that, like this, once you figure out like this part, and you're going to do it multiple times, then you can like copy and paste it, so it gets kind of easy. But when you get to like the transition from like here to here, you really have to like think and be careful how things are going to be done, because the way it's going to run is based on what you tell it to do. So you have to get your logic correct. So in my opinion, I usually get probably 80%, 90% of the code written, which is basically just this part, formatting it correctly, and then do the actual logic part to finish it out. And the logic part is usually the toughest part for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I do, yeah.
Oh, the part.
Yeah, and then, I think that what also helps is also talking out exactly what your code is doing, because then you're able to just really identify identify errors within your logic. Just like how we took the temp list and then we moved it into here, and then we took the output list and then we moved it up top there.
Yeah.
You know, so stuff like that.
It may not seem in this particular project that I didn't struggle that much, but other videos that we do, that kind of, me and Martin kind of talked about, like, we're going to maybe try videos that kind of track my progress on how, from being like, I'm not necessarily a total beginner, but tracking my current progress as probably maybe like 2 or 3 steps up from a beginner, but still like a beginner, not to an intermediate yet, and then see how far I can come along in, you know, several months. So this project, it doesn't really set the bar for my knowledge, because I'm sure the next project that Martin can give me, or we figure out what we want to do and we just do it from scratch without, you know, me having any prior knowledge to doing this before, I'm gonna, you know, stumble a lot. So don't think that I'm like faking this, because the next video I'm gonna do is gonna be like, I'm gonna derp everywhere. It depending on what he wants and if I've ever done it before or done something similar.
Another thing also, and
You'll see this. You'll see the struggle.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say another thing also. I have not told Greg, and then he's probably going to be actually hearing this now, like for the first time, is that there's going to come a point in time where it's just, I'm not going to be the one typing out the program. Greg is going to be the one typing it out. So what that means is, whichever language we're doing, that's what he's going to have to learn. So if we're going to do Python, we'll do Python. If we're going to do C#, he's going to be the one typing it. Whatever we're doing, he'll be the one typing it. I'm not sure if that's going to be in the next video. We'll kind of really gauge where he's at, but you know what the goal is just to see how much he's able to come along. Progress.
Oh God. Noob 1, Noob 2, Noob 3. Just rate me in the noob rating system.
The noob level. Well, you don't want to have a mentality like that. You always want to. You always kind of, it's like what we talked about in the last video. You want to be able to believe in yourself. You know,
yeah,
and push yourself.
It definitely helps that you have people backing you up, even though I think everyone's going to feel a little bit down at sometimes. Like if I was doing this by myself and I didn't really have anyone to consult, I would probably, when I get to the logic part and I couldn't figure it out after like 30 minutes, I'd probably feel like kicking myself because I can't understand the transition or what I'm doing wrong. So it helps having someone in your corner to, like, you know, give you a pep talk. Like, hey, it's only been 30 minutes. You'll be fine.
You can do it. Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we close out the video?
I think we're good. I think we probably bored everyone else.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So you can slow your videos down now. We're about done.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, cool. If you like this,
if you'd like to see me suffer more, subscribe and
or comment.
Yeah.
Also, as well, if you possibly have applications that you would like to have, Greg tackle, please let me know so I can kind of like, design one like the ones that you guys.
It could be like a ridiculous or a fun one too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever y'all want.
You see the struggle.
Yes. One thing. Yeah, one thing to tell you guys is that Greg does not like doing math problems. So if y'all got some math problems you want to throw his way, be my guest. It'll just be fun.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Also, I don't think Martin's ever like shouted this out, but he also has his own personal YouTube channel to break down like basics of SQL. So, what's your YouTube channel called? Is it just your name?
I think it's PC Specialist. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video on that.
Or it's either that or Martin.
It is Martin Lodges. You got it. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, since we're doing the SQL stuff, you may or may not know the basics. He goes over the basics in his channel. He only has like 12 videos, but it should be enough to like get you going to like so you can understand our videos a little bit better.
I would agree.
So yeah, we'll link a description in the bottom.
All right, guys. Well, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. If you've lasted this long, we definitely appreciate you guys.
Just wait, it's gonna be it's gonna be a long fun ride.
All right,
But
guys.
we'll make it.
Until next time.
You guys have fun. Have a great weekend.